Nagbabalik ang PTV Sports sa ating sports banter. Makakasama natin ngayon sina Sir Paolo de los Santos at Jerry Legaspi mula sa VALIANT MMA. Magandang hapon po, gentlemen.
Ayun, sir. Ayun, mga kinakatakutan to sa MMA. Pero, sir, para kay Sir Paolo, no? Sir, pwede niyo po ba ibahagi sa amin kung ano po ba yung history nitong VALIANT MMA, no? Sino, kailan po nag-start to? Sino mga nandun?
Nag-start po yung VALIANT MMA noong 2018. Thesis siya ni Sean, yung pinaka-owner ng gym, noong 2018. And then, for fitness and exercise lang po siya. And then, eventually, after nung pandemic, mas nag-focus siya sa fight sports. And naging training center din siya ng isang training center ng national team ng Sambo.
Maganda yung partner, no? Nagsimula sa thesis, no? Tapos naisa katuparan, no, partner?
Paano po kaya nangyari na yun yung piniling thesis subject ng partner nyo na sa lahat ng mga businesses na pwede niyang i-establish, isang MMA gym ang napili?
As far as I know, kasi before, or up until now, hindi yata kasi pwede magbukas ng mga normal business like restaurants or na mga common business. Since nagtitraining siya noon ng Muay Thai, naisip niya magbukas siya ng sarili niyang fight gym.
Ano po yung challenges nung pagka magbubukas ka ng gym from scratch? Kasi alam naman natin marami tayong kompetensya na iba ring gyms. Ang Pilipinas, dito sa Metro Manila, marami ring mga tulad nyo na nag-o-offer ng services when it comes to teaching martial arts. Ano po yung challenge?
Challenge siguro yung marketing, and then yun nga, sabi niyo po, maraming kalaban ng gyms. Tapos syempre, yung quality din ng coaches. We have Coach Jerry, sila Kuya Mark, Streigl, sila Troy nandyan. Tsaka malaking help din po yung support ng marketing sa amin yung Sambo National Team sa VALIANT.
Pero Sir Gian, paano yung sabi nyo nga po, quality ng mga coaches, no? Paano po ba yung parang natin doon? Paano tayo umahanap ng mga quality coaching staffs? Paano po ba yung nagiging proseso doon?
Usually naman yung mga requirements namin is yung credentials nila. Like si Coach Jerry, Jiu-Jitsu black belt siya. So, highest level na siya ng Jiu-Jitsu for teaching ng Jiu-Jitsu. So, isa yung credentials nila. Siyempre, yung pakikisama sa mga clients, and then yung the way sila magturo, and yun nga, mag-address. Yun na, yung pinaka-important is yung relationship ng coaches sa clients namin.
Coach Jerry, you're the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach nitong gym na to. O meron po rin po ba kayong tinuturong ibang
I teach combat sambo, Tuesdays and Thursdays doon. Kasama namin yung combat sambo national team. And then we do MMA. So
all around din po kayo
yes,
sa gym.
yeah.
Kung i-describe niyo po yung inyong style of coaching, ano po masasabi niyo?
I have an aggressive approach to coaching, especially if you're a fighter. But what's called, if you're like a beginner or hobbyist, I will be nice to you.
Ayun nga po sir. Baka ma-intimidate yung ating mga fans dahil yung inyong gym. Alam natin may mga high-level fighters kayo.
Yes, sir.
Pero is it open din sa mga beginners na
Yes,
mga
sir.
gusto lang magsimula?
Open. Our gym is yung kahit na hindi ka lumalaban, pwede mo makakasabay mga lumalaban, mga sikat na fighter katulad ni Mark, andyan sila Marwin, Kirante, One FC fighter, Sus champion, si McLeary. So, makakasabay mo sila sa training kahit hindi ka pro fighter.
Sir Paolo, can you just chime in on that? Ano yung advantage kung magsisimula ka and makakasama mo sa gym mga ganong kalibre ng fighters?
For me, ang advantage nun is siguro hindi ka na maliligaw sa training since experience na sila, and wala na sila dun sa experimental stage. Kasi more on our coaches is like sila coach, may mga experience sila sa MMA, and yung iba po actively lumalaban pa sa MMA hanggang ngayon.
Actually, speaking of intimidation, partner, na-intimidate na ako agad kay Coach, no? Pag nakikita ko yung tenga ni Coach,
Cauliflower.
Oo, yung cauliflower ear tawag ng Coach, di ba? Pag ganun, parang ayoko na makipagsuntukan pag ganun eh. Pero coach, paano ba? Paano ba ang ano natin dito? Yung sa mga aspiring national athletes or mga MMA fighters natin, paano po ba yung ano? Paano sila matututo? How can someone prepare to learn an MMA or jiu-jitsu?
Okay, yung kailangan mo talaga is punta ka muna, sign up ka sa nearest gym or gym na comfortable ka. Hindi mo kailangan fit ka. Yun ang gagawin namin. Tuturuan kayo step by step. I-guide kayo. So huwag kayo ma-intimidate na, uy, I'm not fit, hindi pa, wala akong hangin, wala lahat. So punta muna kayo sa gym, sa step by step, i-guide namin kayo.
Huwag ka na raw ma-intimidate. Pumunta ka na sa gym nila.
Sige sir, baka one of these days siguro sir, baka magpaturo ako sa inyo.
Oo, no, maganda nga. Sir, can you just, para sa mga nanonood na baka interesadong maging member ng gym natin, ano po ba yung full services? Pinag-usapan natin kanina, pero paki-elaborate lang po ano lahat ng mga ino-offer nating services sa gym.
Okay, we specialize in combat sambo. We have sports sambo. We do lots of no-gi grappling. We have wrestling. Our head wrestling coach is Mark Streigl. He's a all Japan champion before, so he knows what he's doing. And he's like he was like a UFC fighter, 1FC, so alam niya talaga. We have Muay Thai. The people teaching Muay Thai, they all fought, so they know what they're teaching. And we have boxers also there teaching at the gym. And we also have like fitness trainers. If you want to just do weights, they're there to guide them.
Ganun din.
Yes, sir.
Pero sir, coach, no, you've mentioned earlier na meron tayong mga may mga national athlete po ba tayo na nagte-training dun sa Valiant MMA?
Yes, sir. Regularly.
Pwede niyo po bang ibahagi sa amin, sir, gaano kalaking tulong itong Valiant MMA gym natin para sa kanila na balang araw, no, pwede silang mag-represent ng country natin sa international stage, mga ganun, sir?
Sa amin, malaking tulong na andun yung national team na sambo doon. Hindi lang kasi andun yung mga training equipment na kailangan namin, mga weights, medyo malapit sa amin. Pero may mga other gyms kami na tinitrainan for sambo. Meron sa national team, sa may likod ng Lasal, sa PSC. And then we have our own sambo gym sa may Singalong. Doon yung nakabase yung President Paolo namin. So, sometimes we go to our nearest places. Hindi kami pinapahirapan. So, salamat kay Pres Paolo na pumapayag na pag malapit kami sa QC kami. Pag yung mga malapit sa Manila or Makati area, doon sila sa Manila area.
Alright. In addition to that, sir, pwede niyo po bang ibahagi sa amin kung ano po yung mga tips, no, para sa mga MMA artist, mga aspiring MMA artist natin, lalo yung mga bata, no, na gustong i-try itong klaseng sport na to, pwede niyo po ba kami bigyan ng mga tips kung paano sila magsisimula?
Okay, kailangan may style ka matuto muna. For example, boxing or Muay Thai, and then add some grappling styles to it if you want to do MMA. Kasi hindi ka pwede concentrate sa one style lang. Kailangan maging first style ka. So you need a little bit of everything. So I would suggest na kung balak mo mag-MMA talaga, do some boxing, do some MMA, do some sambo, do some no-gi. And then kung saan ka parang gumaling talaga, yun ang i-focus mo. Saan ka medyo mahina, focus ka pa rin. So, a little bit of everything talaga.
Merong mga ganong gym coach no, na tuturuan ka ng MMA na MMA agad. So, do you believe, yun nga, you're alluding to earlier, disadvantage ba yun na ituro? Kasi maraming facets agad na aralin imbis na yung sinasabi mo na master one style and then dagdagan mo ng ibang facets.
You will have loopholes in your hole kung diretso ka lang MMA. You could make it kung athletic ka, pero pwede magkaroon ka ng loopholes, meaning na if you fight a wrestler and you just been doing a little bit of wrestling, ma-dominate ka. That's why you need a little bit of everything and specialize in a lot of things instead of just doing MMA. Kasi yung kulang yung oras talaga.
Okay. Sir Paolo, I believe meron kayong upcoming events na gustong ibahagi sa amin. Ano po yun? And kung meron na rin po kayong message sa mga nanonood nating viewers.
Coaching ko na sa event natin.
Events po, upcoming events.
Okay, our upcoming events, Okay, medyo busy yung mga upcoming events namin. This December, we have a 1-week training program in Davao. That's a grassroots program. We have like the Philippine Sambo team there, teaching grassroots levels there, and aspiring like Sambo fighters. And then we have in Sri Lanka, we have a beach sports Sambo. There will be Sydney Tangonchan be fighting there, McCleary, and there'll be another person from Davao. They'll be doing beach Sambo. We got Brave fighting. We have 2 fighters fighting there, Marian and Jen. I'll be going there with her in Bahrain. That's on the 13th of December. After that, we're going to Bali. We have 2 fighters fighting at CFN MMA Fight Night. And then January 2025, so many fights and Sambo competitions. We have the BBM Cup, hosted, of course, by our president. And then we will have a Sambo event in Tagaytay. There's a combat arena. It will be under Sir Tolentino. And then we have Dumao, Japan, where we will be going to. We're going to do some grappling over there. And so many more, sorry. I can't mention everything.
Parang hindi na kayo maglalagi dito sa Pilipinas, Coach. Parang puro abroad yung mga next nyong schedule. Pero okay, salamat Sir Paolo and Sir Jerry. And sa ating pagbabalik, makakasama naman natin sina MMA mixed martial artist Mark Mugen Streigl at Troy Anthony Legaspi.
At nagbabalik ang PTV Sports. Sa susunod nating part, no, makasama natin ngayon sina MMA artist Mark Mugen Streigl at Troy Anthony Legaspi.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having us.
Welcome, sir.
Mark, can you tell us about what's happening with you lately? Because obviously, you've been fighting in the pros and you've also been competing under the national team of our different combat sports associations. So, how about now? What's happening with you right now?
My last competition was in Paris, France. I did a sports sambo competition with the Philippine team. I got bronze at that tournament. My specialty is really combat sambo, but I do sports sambo as well. So it was a great experience to go to Paris, and my teammates Chino and AC, they both got gold. So that was the last competition I did. But next year, I'm looking forward to more combat sport competitions for combat sambo and also pro MMA.
Oh, okay. How about, ay hindi, Tagalog pala to si, Ikaw, Anthony, ano yung, isa ka ring fighter, so ano yung pinagkakabalahan mo ngayon?
Ngayon, last competition ko nung Indonesia, nung June, nakakuha ako ng gold. Then next week, UAAP namin for judo. So
Judo
representing ako ng UST team.
Ay, nice one.
Ayan.
Fellow Tomasyan.
Partner, parang dito na lang ako magtatanong, partner. Sa'yo na lang si Mark. Hindi ko kaya.
Sige.
Pero Anthony, para sa'yo, no, yun nga, no, nasabi mo yung mga notable achievements mo before. Pero dito ba, ano bang natin ngayon? Ano bang focus natin ngayon sa future career mo?
Future career ko, siguro focus ako after ko mag-UST sa national team. Siguro mag-focus ako more on Sambo national team. Kasi tinatapos ko lang tong college ko as a UST judo men's team. Then after nun, balik ako national team ng Sambo.
Yun nga, no, speaking no, na student athlete ka, gaano ba kahirap para maging isang student athlete? Lalo dito, Sambo, to kailangan talaga ng madugo ang, kumbaga, parang training, intensive training, no?
Para sa akin, mahirap siya, pero ang gusto mo naman may paraan. Tsaka time management lang. Basta marunong ka mag-manage ng time mo, magagawa mo lahat ng gusto mo.
Alright.
Okay,
Tama
Mark,
yun.
let's go back to you. You're one of the few Filipino-born fighters who had the fortune of making it into the UFC. So, how does one make it there? And what do you think is lacking in our local scene? This is why there's not a lot of fighters that make it into the big leagues.
Yeah, I mean, to make it to the UFC and to make it into big promotions like the UFC or One Championship, really you have to just win. It's as easy as that. You know, you have to put together a good win record and beat some big names, and then essentially they just call you and you get that opportunity. I think that, you know, as Filipinos, we have a bright future in combat sports. Jiu-Jitsu is getting really big in the country. And yeah, there are a lot of gyms producing great champions. So I think it's just a matter of time before we have another Filipino fighter in the UFC.
In your opinion, what's the biggest area that Filipino fighters need to work on and able to achieve a more success as a pro MMA fighter?
I mean, I would have said a few years ago, I would have said jiu-jitsu and wrestling because, of course, we have champions like Manny Pacquiao, Nonito Donaire. So boxing has always been very strong in this country. But, you know, these days with jiu-jitsu and wrestling, the level just keeps getting higher and higher. So, yeah, I don't think there's really one area in particular. I think that it's just up to the athlete to do the right training and find the right gyms to train at and put everything together for him or herself.
Speaking of, you spoke about competing pro and under the national team as well. Can we expect Mark Streigl return to the Southeast Asian Games? Or is it something you're thinking about?
No, I definitely want to. I won gold in the SEA Games in Pampanga in 2019 for combat sambo. And yeah, I definitely want to. Just waiting for the opportunity again. And I love representing the country for sambo.
All right. I also want to ask now about their social medias kasi nakita natin no,
Yes.
nakakatawa yung mga contents nila doon. So, can you tell us more about your social media accounts?
So Troy and I, we started this thing called Bullshido during the pandemic, actually, because we were kind of bored during training. You know, we were kind of bored, and we saw this video of some Indians doing martial arts. And we were looking at it after training, and I was just scratching my head, and I'm like, this is never gonna work, bro. Like, what is this garbage, you know? Like, someone's gonna get hurt, you know, if they try this on the streets, you know? It's actually bad, it's dangerous, right, for self-defense. So we just made one video making fun of them, and then the video did really well. One thing led to another, and then now we make Bullshido videos where we just make fun of bad martial arts, and we make a lot of people angry in the process, you know, but that's part of it, and it's a lot of fun.
Tanong natin si Anthony, sabi nga ni Mark, no, nung nakita nyo yung mga martial arts na sa tingin nyo hindi gumagana, ano ba yung pinagmulan nun? Gusto nyo lang ba talagang pagkatuwaan o meron ding, yun nga, parang warning na hindi talaga dapat pinapractice tong mga ganito?
Actually, both siya. Sa amin kasi, gusto namin i-knowledge yung mga tao kung ano ang tamang martial arts sa mali, kung ano yung fake sa original. So, yun yung goal namin, pero at the same way, ginagawa namin siyang funny. So, yun, both lang siya namin nagagawa.
Parang way nila yun eh. Parang way kasi nila yun to criticize no, yung mga maling gawain sa MMA.
Mark, I know I like your videos and a lot of people on the internet also appreciate them, but you talked about having a few bad encounters. Can you talk about the pushback? Of course, you're ruffling some feathers in doing this, so the pushback.
Right now, I have a kung fu master in Poland that is kind of challenging me, and he's really angry. He's the first guy that's actually called me out on his social media channels, so that's entertaining. Sometimes I get death threats too. Troy has gotten some threats too. Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. But you know, we're very selective of our videos too. You know, we don't just bash everything. That'd be horrible. So we're very selective, and we look at it, the technique, and we're like, okay, would this actually work? No, that's complete trash. Okay, let's choose this one. So we're very careful with the ones that we select, and with all of our experience in martial arts for so many years, you know, I definitely believe we're the qualified ones to make those choices.
I want to ask both of you, what's your favorite Bullshido?
Maybe the Russian Grandmaster. He's the guy who does the crazy hand movements. Yeah, he's probably my favorite, and my dream is to one day travel there somewhere in Russia with Troy and go find him and be his student for a few days.
Are you actually serious about that?
Half serious.
Ikaw, Anthony.
Sa akin po yung Indians. Kasi kung hindi dahil sa Indians, di kami mag-i-start eh.
Yung pinakasimula.
Indians yung start namin, so yun talaga favorite ko.
And it's wild because some of these pages, they have millions of followers. The Indian bullshito guys that we make fun of, they have millions of followers, and all these people in the comments are defending, or not defending them. They're saying, great technique, amazing, thank you for sharing. And Troy and I are just scratching our heads, and we're like, yo, someone tries that, they're gonna get hurt. Like, yeah, it's never gonna work. So. I feel a bit of a social responsibility as a professional martial artist,
That's correct.
Yeah, it's actually like my responsibility to point people in the right direction, and we try to do it in a funny way. Yeah.
All right. Do you have a message? Kayo ba? Meron ba kayong mga message? Lastly, siguro, promote your MMA gym. Ano bang meron kayong mga last message niyo overall?
Yeah, please follow our gym and come train in our gym, Valiant MMA and Fitness in Quezon City. And if you're also looking for funny martial arts and fitness content, please follow our social media accounts, Mark Mugen and
Troy Anthony.
Troy Anthony. There you go.
All right, there you go.
All right. Yun na muna. Maraming salamat, no, Troy Anthony and Mark Mugen Streigl.